And Paul Barrows? You can go ahead, sir. Thank you.
Honorable Senators, committee members, thank you for listening to me today. My name is Paul Barrows. I'm a retired federal law enforcement officer with 28 years civil service. I'd like to bring your attention to a critical gap in our state's mental health care system and urge you to take action. I would like to share the story of my son, Cody Barrows. Cody, now 32, was once a promising young man with a bright future ahead of him. He attended Flower Mound Marcus High School, graduating in 2011. His academic and athletic achievements earned him a partial scholarship to play soccer at Austin College in Sherman, Texas. However, several months into his first semester, Cody was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and placed on meds. Cody maintained that he wasn't sick, and he didn't have the disease the doctors told him that he had. His condition progressively worsened due to inconsistent medication adherence, and in 2014, his diagnosis was updated to schizoaffective disorder with mild paranoia and co-occurring disorder of anosognosia. I would highly recommend and encourage you, if you don't know why people don't take their medication, they could be suffering from anosognosia. They don't know the lack of insight into their condition. They just don't believe they're sick. My son told me that, why would I take this medicine? I'm not sick. It's been a persistent challenge in Cody's treatment. In years since his diagnosis, there's been a heartbreaking illustration in the gaps in our mental health system. He's been arrested 15 times with more than 30 encounters with law enforcement. Cycling through the criminal justice system, which is ill-equipped to address his mental health care needs. He needed long-term civil commitment to where he could be in a hospital in a setting where he could live with dignity and purpose and participate in classes, art classes, therapy, go outside, get sun, exercise. But those aren't available. Instead, he's been in several hospitals where they over-medicate him and he shuffles his feet down the hallways.
Sir, I know you're out of time, but what are you asking? What are you asking? I want you to be able to complete your thought, because I think this is not necessarily an unusual story, as those of us who have seen people processed through the jail and talk to parents. I was a judge once, and I had parents like you in front of me, and there just wasn't a lot of help to offer. So what are you asking for?
So people like Cody who suffer from anosognosia, where they don't think they're sick, they don't stay on their meds, they cycle through, they criminalize their mental health. So there needs to be a safer option, because he's a public safety threat. He's going to be released on Thursday after his felony was reduced to a misdemeanor because they didn't want to go through civil commitment. So he's about to be released. And as much as I'd say I'd love to have him on the outside, he needs a safe option,
Right.
campus-style setting, hospitalization, it's still secure, but where our most vulnerable can live with dignity and purpose still, even while, in a secure facility. Thank you.
All right. Senator Perry, I'm sorry, I didn't see your line.
No, that's fine, Madam Chair. So I'm assuming his IQ is above 75. And that's the gatekeeper for our state supported living centers. And I haven't pursued all of the other metrics, but that's the one that lets them out of their job, in my humble opinion. We heard yesterday we've got people in there that don't belong in there, that are violent, that are putting staff and patients in danger. We've got this thing flipped upside down. And so what I'm hearing you say, he would have fit well in a state supported living center environment.
Correct.
And so, or something that's similar, but something similar doesn't exist, or it may exist, but we don't acknowledge it. But this is the third session we've had these conversations about people that would do well in a state supported living center, if not for the IQ metric. And it was brought out again yesterday, as I've brought up many times. We have separate complexes on these grounds, and to Senator Cocor's or Chairwoman Cocor's perspective, we don't want to put violent people in, jeopardize the safety of the others, obviously not in the same complex. But on this issue, ad litem's and all of the other guys out here in our judicial system needs to get the message we've got to do better. Because the IQ is a starting point, but it can't be the final determinant for people that truly need that structured environment, would thrive in that structured environment. It's what we need to recognize. That's the rules of the day. Thank you for your testimony. But the system is out there. We just have people that choose to find workarounds to not access the system as it was designed. There's 13,000 beds I believe, available in our state supported living centers across the deal. We only got 3,800 or 3,000 or 4,000 of those beds occupied. Shame on us as a state not to take advantage for these guys that require some institutional settings that can have a quality of life. We've went out of our way to move them out of that into community centers. Clearly, we're hearing things today to fix in that environment. So we want the least confinement. But when we have someone that fits this environment, and I know there's another individual that will testify here, she's as religious as the day is long. She's got a brother, same situation. We've got to change the rules where state-supported living centers can't run around behind the scene and let this situation exist, because it ends badly every time. Thank you for your testimony.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here, Mr. Barrows. Jennifer Dodd?